Okay, well, we're here today, DX8 program. This is going to be for a Delta Ray 2, because I already have a Delta Ray, and I'm just getting ready to overhaul everything with brushless motors. And I've already got one of the motors removed and one of the cowlings pulled off. I had to do a little repair. Rough landings will tend to break these cowling and motor mounts, so just be prepared for that if you buy one. They're great, playing really fun. Safe is awesome. This is another project I got to figure out how to fix my landing gear on. 2 batteries, 3S, nothing magical, 30 amp ESCs, Hobby King product here, ST2204, which is 1550 kV motors, 6.4R, 6.4 regular, and you'll notice they'll counter rotate. And I've also got this strange contraption over here, which I'll explain right now. Now, I've got a relay hooked up, and my plans are eventually to rotate the direction of travel on the motors. Don't know if that's going to work. I'll try it here at some point. But that's on the list of things to do. And you can see here I've got a Lemon RX receiver. This little 6-channel receiver is like less than $6. It's just insane. Works great. Little extension cord goes over to this. Broken servo. I've watched YouTube, got some assistance on that, but basically you just take off your motor leads, then you turn the trim pot to wherever you want. Of course, I'll get rid of some of this bulk and potentially replace with a proper resistor over here, whatever size I end up needing, instead of having the bulk of all this stuff built in. And then this is just a regular relay with a normally closed, normally open contact. And you can see basically I can stop that clicking depending on what I want to do with the output. And I think what I have, oh, the light just slipped under there. You can see that little LED flashing. This one here is actually driven from this battery through this 505 timer circuit, and I can play with all that. But right now I'm not really doing much of anything with it. But you can do some really cool stuff with remote controls and whatnot. Bomb drop, tank drops, all sorts of neat things. But for the moment, I want to show you how this works. I've got a it's gonna be like a Televon setup, or a there won't be any tail, so it's just going to be ailerons, and you can see that it's mixed in to work with that. And differential thrust. It looks like this one didn't initiate. I'm not sure exactly what I've got going on here. I had shortened my leads yesterday. I hadn't played with it until just now. But oh, throttle cut. Throttle cut's off. Okay, so basically I've got differential thrust. And then of course I've got all that stuff. And the cool thing is, turn on the landing lights with that extra channel. I'm using my gear channel right now. I hope to potentially get flapperons in here too, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to mix all that in. You can see as I give it right stick or left stick, I'm simulating the rudder input, but I also have a physical rudder. And that's something for all of you who have Delta Rays. You'll know that it's got a fixed gear. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, or if I'm going to just physically cut in a rudder. Obviously there's not a rudder cut in on that thing. So a couple different things, and you can see I've got all these little wires, and you're probably wondering, what the heck is that? Well, that's my control circuit for my lighting. I've got a white strobe, and then a red and green, and then I've got some landing lights here that I was hoping to turn on and off potentially. And then I've got an anti-crash beacon on the bottom and the top, and I've got some videos about that that'll be posted someday, who knows. Either way, this is what I'm working on now, and the differential thrust is really cool. Excited to see how that turns out. I'm going to probably go ahead and get these wired up together so that I just have one 3S. The original battery from the factory, this E-Flight 2S 1300 milliamp. I only flew that for a short time. I actually still fly it with that, of course, when I'm flying it, but I went up to an 1800 milliamp. 2S. So I'm a little bit concerned about weight. If I go up to this Common Sense, it's a 3S. I believe this one's a 700 milliamps. But either way, it's oh, there it is, 720 milliamps. This particular battery is going to be real similar in weight to this battery, so I know for a fact I'll be able to fly with it. I just don't know what type of a length of flight I'm going to get. So I'm sort of toying with the idea of maybe even just going ahead and putting in a 2200 milliamp, or excuse me, that's a 4000. I was going to say, it seems kind of big. 2200 milliamp 3S, more conventional size with an XT60 connector, being that I'm running 2 of these ESCs now. But in terms of weight change, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot from the factory setup. And whether or not I end up doing anything for, you know, engine braking right now is probably up in the air at this point. But, you know, I'm going to add a lot of weight when I put a couple of these relays in. And yeah, I could go through and do some transistors and all that stuff, but that's a lot of work. I don't know if I care that much, especially with the plane that flies so good. And I'll be losing safe, which is a real bummer, and I'm not sure exactly that it's going to be a big issue now that I know how to fly, but safe was sure nice when I was learning. So anyway, that's about it. That's my Delta Ray upgrade, and I'll have a flight video to go with it later.